Thank you for watching. It is not violating the fundamental human rights or voting rights of uninterested voters or people who are potential voters who do not want to vote if voting takes little effort, if cheating is hard to do. There have recently been some very good laws passed to make it hard for cheaters to cheat in American elections. Dishonest people have been accusing those laws of being violating voting rights, of being voter suppression, of being variations of those themes or synonyms of those things. Voting rights violations, voting suppression, when all those laws are doing is making it hard to cheat. Those laws are not making it an excessive burden to vote. The only reason anybody would be against showing voter identification to vote is if they're a cheater or bad or stupid. Some combination of those. There's absolutely nothing wrong with showing the same thing that you're required to show in our current society to buy alcohol, to buy cigarettes, to buy some medications, to get into a government building, to be near political candidates, to rent different things, to get on an airplane. With all those many things which require a photo identification, it's just a part of everyday life. And so nobody is being suppressed by showing an identification. In fact, it's harming society and helping cheaters. The legitimate voter who's not cheating to vote 2, 3, 4, 10, 100 times, their vote is diluted and they are being disenfranchised. If it's easy for the dishonest person to vote 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 100 times. Voting on election day, having one day when we do it, instead of voting for a month before, makes it harder for the cheaters. And if you have an absentee ballot system, when I was very young, there was no extreme early voting, there was no vote by mail for everybody. There was, you go to the polling place on election day. That was good because the campaigns, they could plan their advertisements, their campaign activities up until that day. It's good to have the election day. It's harder for cheaters to cheat. If we have election month and the votes are starting to get counted, the people who would cheat know how many fake votes they need to push their guy over the top. If we only vote on election day, except for the absentee ballots, people who are not going to be able to get to the polling place because they're at work, they've got vacation planned, they're physically unable. Everyone else should get to the polling place, but somebody who meets one of those criteria, it's good to have absentee ballots. But if we're all voting on election day, then the vote fakers would find out at 10 o'clock at night when the votes start getting counted, or 2 o'clock in the morning, how many votes they need to fake. And that'll make it harder on them. And that's good if it's hard on the cheaters. It's better if it's impossible on the cheaters, but hard is, I'll say hard is a good enough goal for us to have as a society. There should not be mail-in ballots. It's making fraud easier if there's a whole bunch of legitimate ballots floating around, and you're making it easy. You're violating people's privacy, their secret vote. If there's a ballot mailed to the house, if there's a controlling or abusive romantic partner or just roommate, then the person can be intimidated or forced into voting the way the intimidator, controller, abusive person wants. And that's not good. But if everybody goes to the polling place, the person who's got an abusive, violent, that they for some reason haven't broken away from, roommate or romantic partner can go check candidate A in the polling box, walk out of there and say, yeah, I voted for B. Yay, B! B 2024, when they actually voted A 2024. But there's no way that's happening with a mail ballot being mailed out. And with mail ballots being mailed out, people could steal them. People could take their ballots of the people they live with and just answer the ballots how they want. And without, violence and force, but just by taking the ballots that were sitting there, force people's votes to be the wrong way. That happened recently. A caller to a radio show pointed out his daughter got all 5 ballots, filled them out, closed them up, and mailed them back in, even though she knows she was voting differently than what some of the people whose names on the ballot would want. He said he didn't want to get his daughter in trouble. I think he should get his daughter in trouble. Come on, man. Don't be a bad parent. She needs to learn. She needs to be punished. So, yep, thank you for watching. Making cheating hard is not voter suppression and violating voting rights and human rights. Have a good day.